Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sierra, the HVAC, and your go-to for all things child-free lifestyle, fashion finds, navigating New York City life, mental health, and of course, occasional cameos from my dog Stark. Basically, if you're into living your best life without kids, feeling fabulous, and keeping it real, maybe catching some pup cuddles, you are in the right place. So, grab a drink, maybe a snack, get comfy, and let's talk about books. Really quickly, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So, if you could please hit the subscribe button, you'll be my hero. All right, here we go. Mental health. It's like all the rage right now. I am a solid millennial and a personal big believer in therapy. My biggest piece of advice to you is to look for a therapist while things are going well or they are neutral. The burden of navigating the US healthcare system and finding a therapist whom you click with is a lot. And I do not recommend doing that when you are in crisis. It's not fun, I've been there. But what about those who can't afford therapy? Maybe you're someone whose health insurance doesn't cover it. And considering I'm now not in regular therapy, as I am working to build my roster of clients and working as an up-and-coming creator, aka I'm not bringing home massive amounts of money to afford health insurance that includes therapy. That's just the facts. What does that mean? I'm grateful to have many tools to help me navigate this transition until I can go back into regular therapy. And one of the biggest tools available to all of us are books. As an avid reader, there have been some incredible books that have helped me in conjunction to working with my therapist, psychiatrist, and primary care doctor. One of the most influential books that I read was It's Not Always Depression, Working the Change Triangle to Listen to the Body, Discover Core Emotions, and Connect to Your Authentic Self by Hilary Jacobs Hendel. Last year, after my relationship ended, I was not great. Hello, Groot. One day, I went to Sephora to purchase new foundation and needed help finding the right color, as I could tell that my face color had changed, and I wish I remembered the name of the young woman who was working for Makeup Forever, because she was a true angel for me. Not just because she made sure I stopped looking like a clown, but because there was something warm about her. I told her a bit about my breakup, that I was sad and needed foundation to help me feel good and cover up the dark circles from all the crying I had been doing, and because I was an emotional wreck, I started to cry in the middle of Sephora. Thank God I live in New York City because no one blinked an eye. She gave me a hug, and it was an awesome hug. Like, you know when you have a good hug? Yeah. Anyway, when we were talking, she recommended this book, and I immediately went and purchased it. I'm talking, I left Sephora, went to the bookstore, and bought the last copy. Something I'm just not good at is, well, recognizing my emotions and allowing myself to feel them. Why? Well, that's a core pillar of why I am in therapy right there. On a serious side though, this book gave me new language and tools to work through feelings. One that Hendel focuses on is working the change triangle, as it says in the title. That helped me start to reframe a lot of things, especially when it comes to should. Am I conforming to something? Am I trying to make other people more comfortable rather than myself? Overall, Hendel has given me a tool that I still use to this day. Another book that I found helpful in my mental health journey, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb, who I believe also has a podcast now. But oddly enough, I read this right before my relationship ended, and it's a book about a therapist in therapy after a breakup. She discusses her journey through therapy, juxtapose a selection of patients. You follow their journeys of trial, error, hardship, trauma, and growth, and the themes of showing the human experience and how we're all more similar despite our different circumstances was comforting. I also found that I liked this book because it gave me a true frame of reference for patterns that we all live in or might repeat in more tangible ways, and why. I am sure many of you have some knowledge of attachment theory. I think it's another fantastic tool, but I personally believe it's just that. It's a tool, a way to be curious about ourselves and have a common language to communicate with others. What I'm not a huge fan of is how attachment theory has led people to ignore other factors that affect a person, such as culture, income, your literal DNA and chemical makeup. So reading this book from Gottlieb felt more like a window into something that's broader than attachment theory and works with that. 2 years ago, I read How to Do the Work by Nicole LePera. This was one of the more transformative books for me in my own mental health journey. I'd been in therapy for a few years at this point, and I had made some good progress, like in several areas of my life. But this book just really helped me come to realize how therapy was a small part of my journey. Because at best, therapy is 45 minutes once a week. So what was I doing outside of therapy? And that's what this book has really helped me realize, in providing more tools for me to use outside of therapy, such as different journal prompts, listening to my body, thinking about the importance of breathing exercises, and you don't have to do meditation, right? But hey, what is happening in my body in this moment when I'm feeling something to help me recognize what's going on? So definitely really enjoyed this. And the last book I cannot shut up about, which if you know me on a personal level, you know that this book right here, I am obsessed with it. I am absolutely obsessed with it. It's called Real Self-Care by Dr. Pooja Lakshmin. I first heard about Dr. Pooja Lakshmin and her book when I decided to listen to the Career Contessa podcast one day. It was an older episode at the time, and I have genuinely no idea why I decided to listen to it, but I did. And I enjoyed what she had to say. I think I even recorded a segment of it and sent it to my best friend, Sammy. But y'all, I'm so here for this book. Like, Dr. Lakshmin really goes in on the wellness industrial complex that we're all living in, as well as discussing the systemic pressures that women face, especially women of color, people who are queer. My favorite part of the book, or the part that I should say had me cringing because I simultaneously felt seen and attacked, was when she talked about boundaries. Why some of us have issues with them and how real self-care requires boundaries. That's even the name of chapter 5. On page 86, she wrote, "Boundaries are hard, not because you can't identify with yours, but because you're worried about the backlash." Yeah, I felt attacked, but also seen, because that's been me. And I really love how she talks about what real self-care looks like and how to work within the structures of your life to find what that means for you. This book, amazing. Fellow HBICs, I cannot recommend it enough to you. So if you're like me, a person who is raw dog in life right now, and are looking for more tools to help you, then these are some of the books I'd recommend. They've been transformative in my thought processes, my ability to communicate, and for me to find more paths that work for me as a person. I've dropped links to each one of these books below, so if you want to learn more about them or grab a copy, I put a link in the description, making it easy for you. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment and let me know what books have been really helpful to you. I always love learning about new books and what works for someone else. I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.